Hi Aries, it's your girl D here with 8th House Energy, here to bring you a quick reading. This is going to be your Uranus in retrograde reading. Um, excuse me. Uranus is in retrograde. Uranus is in the house of Taurus. So for you guys, it's your second house. And Uranus goes into retrograde on the 19th of August, and it stays in retrograde until the 18th of January of 2022. So, the outer planets, they stay in retrograde a little bit longer than the inner planets. The outer planets are Pluto, Neptune, and Uranus, just so you're aware. So, when we're talking about Uranus, Uranus is the planet of surprise. Sometimes it can be good, sometimes it can be bad, and when it's in the house of Taurus, as far as some of the real life situations that we've been seeing, you get earthquakes, you get tropical storms, you get flooding, the floodings that we're going over in Europe, you got the forests that are burning over in Turkey, natural disasters, because we're talking about fixed Earth. Now, if you look at Uranus compared to the rest of the planets, like if you were to get a picture of the galaxy, of the solar system, our galaxy, you would see that Uranus is unique in its positioning. Like, it's tilted to the side, and if I'm not mistaken, I may be wrong about this, but it rotates counterclockwise, in opposed to the other planets that they rotate clockwise as far as on their axis. Well, Uranus is tilted on its axis, and then I believe it rotates in the opposite direction. So just to give you an idea about the energies of Uranus compared to like the other planets, is totally different than everybody else. It's a very unique individual energy. So whenever Uranus is in your chart, when you look at your natal chart, that's where your uniqueness is, your originality is. That's where your rebelliousness is, the renegade in you, the anarchist in you. Uranus rules protests, it rules boycotts, it rules abruptness, that surprise energy. As far as the body parts, it rules like the lower legs, the calves, and the ankles. It can deal with cramps, Uranus, because it's an air sign, it deals with the mental. So some of your mental diseases that you see with people can happen. For example, with the nervous disorders. I was in a store the other day, and there was a gentleman who had Tourette's syndrome. Uranus deals with spasms, and it deals with the nervous disorders and palsies, different palsies like Bell palsy, cerebral palsy, things like that. It can even have something to do with autism as well. You hear the sirens going off? So, Uranus is a very unique energy. And when Uranus is in retrograde, for you, like I said, it's in your second house. What happens is when it's in retrograde, what it does is there are external factors that will happen. And as a result of those external factors, it will make you change your mindset about doing things or about seeing things. Uranus is an energy of freedom. Someone who wants freedom, who wants forward movement. This is why it's represented by the Fool card in the Tarot. A lot of people will say it's associated with Aries, but it is not. If you do your research, you will see that Uranus rules the Fool, because Uranus is all about doing its own thing, stepping out away from everybody else. And sometimes some of the things that Uranus will make you do may make you look foolish. You could actually be foolish by doing it, but it's a rebellious energy. So that's why it's associated with the Fool. Now, the Fool can be lucky sometimes too, okay? So Uranus can bring luck into your life, or, it can bring despair. But that energy, like I said, that surprise element of you really don't know what to expect with it, right? So in the second house, we're dealing with energies of your feelings about yourself, your self-worth, your self-value, your self-esteem. And, Uranus is in Taurus, and Taurus rules the second house, so we're also talking about money, how much money you can make, your money-making potential. What you do to make money is in the 10th house. How much money you make or how much money you can make has to do with the second house. So your money-making situation could change, or feelings about your self-value or self-worth. There could be external factors that may change that for you. And as a result of Uranus in retrograde, you may act out because you may want to be free of some type of energy that could be, maybe you feel like it's holding you back or it doesn't make sense. And so you may act out in a way where you're looking for freedom from that. So, for example, it could be issues with your job. A lot of the Aries that I know, not all Aries, and I know somebody said something about this in the comments, but a lot of the Aries that I've known, and I get along good with Aries women. I've not met too many Aries men, but I get along good with Aries women because I'm a Scorpio, so, we both share Mars. So, these women, one of them, she worked, but the other ones that I was friends with, throughout growing up and stuff like that, as far as their work and situation and their money making situation, they were entrepreneurs, or they couldn't keep a job for long because they needed to do their own thing. So one example that could be going on with some Aries, not all, but because we're dealing with the second house and how you make money, it could be that maybe you're at an environment or you're in a work environment that's just not. Aries don't like to be bossed around. Let's just put it like that. A lot of them don't. They want to be their own boss because of just the energy that they exude. So, say you're in a work environment and you're like, oh, this is not going to be for me. I don't like the way this boss is talking to me, or I don't like the way they do things. They're stupid, or, whatever your issue is in reference to, excuse me, I'm still, dealing with a little bit of congestion. It's clearing up though. So just forgive me. So, maybe you don't like this job environment for whatever reason. It's just not for you and you know it. All right. And so you could be thinking, damn, I should quit this shit. I should quit this job. But let me just keep it because I don't got nothing else right now. This is my only prime source of income. Let me just keep it. But yeah, I know I need to get up out of here. And maybe you were just lackadaisical on filling out other applications or figuring out what you wanted to do for your own business. So you just stayed there because it was a form of comfort, because it was giving you the income you needed, but you knew you didn't like it and you knew it wasn't going to last too long. But you procrastinated on filling out applications. So boom, here it comes, you get fired. So you're like, damn, I should have quit that damn job anyway. I knew I should have quit. Here I am anyway, out here, butt naked in space. Don't got no other income coming in. I got to figure something out real quick anyway. I should have just did this sooner. You know what I mean? So Uranus, it'll be having you look at why you didn't do something that could have given you the freedom you wanted, why you didn't do it, and now you may be looking back at regret because you're still on that path anyway. Or it could be making you look at it in the reverse way, like, yo, I acted on something and damn, why did I do that? I wish I wouldn't have did that, because you were looking for freedom. So say in the same work scenario, you're like, you know what? I don't like this job. I know I don't got another one, but I'm out here. I'm quitting. The hell with y'all. Middle fingers up. I'm out. You know what I'm saying? And you quit. And so say you haven't been able to find anything else that, you feel comfortable with, and a couple, maybe a month or two went by and now Uranus is in retrograde, and now you could be looking like, damn, I shouldn't have quit that job. I should have just kept it. It would have made sense to keep it and start looking for something else. Like, I knew better, but my temper, I can't deal with that. So it could be that type of energy. That's just an example, but it would be something that has to do with the second house. So you want to look up energies of the second house. Again, it's about self-value, self-worth. Maybe they didn't appreciate you at the job, or maybe they were talking down to you, and it was like, yo, I can't be around this boss is disrespectful. I'm gonna have to, give him the middle finger up. I'm gonna have to step off. It could be something like that. Just an example, all right? So this is gonna be a really quick read. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna pull a card. Oh, we got a lot of traffic going on. Traffic jam out there. People beeping. I don't know if y'all can hear that. All right, so let's see what the universe may have to say in reference to Uranus in retrograde for you, Aries, because it's in your second house. The house of self-value, self-worth, the house of the money-making opportunity or money-making potential. It's also the house of possessions. Some of you may have some issues going on with your home, because it's also the real estate, the house of real estate. So some of you may have, maybe you had an issue that you needed to fix, and you've been putting it off because you wanted to do something else with the money. Maybe you wanted to go on vacation, right? Some type of personal freedom. Keep that in mind with Uranus. You were going to do something else that was going to give you some type of freedom, and maybe you just put that off on the back burner, and maybe you needed to get the water tank fixed, and you didn't do it. You had the money to do it, but you're like, yo, I'm going on vacation first. I'll fix that when I come back, or I'll worry about that once it breaks. Well, maybe it ended up, you ended up having that damage. And now you're like, damn, I knew I should have fixed it when I had the money. or, I don't have the money now, or, something like that. All right, just a general example. So let's get a card out. Take time out. Take time out. So interesting. So for some of you, it may just be a matter of you taking time out to figure out what you need to do. And we have the number 9 energy here on the card, the number 9 energy. So, it could be like, take time out to figure out how to step away from this job before you quit. You may want to quit. You may want to get rid of it, get out of there. But take time out to put a plan in place. Apply for a couple applications a day. So like when you get off work, throw in a couple applications a day, 3 or 4 applications a day. Go online, and do something, or walk around in your busy downtown district and see, who hiring. If it's just something temporary until you find something else, but just put a plan in place. Also, the number 9 represents, in the major arcana, represents the hermit energy. So being very analytical, being well planned out. Virgo plans things out. They don't just jump into anything. They're earth energy. They're very grounded in how they go about doing things. And they look at all the possibilities before they, make a move. So instead of, because that Aries energy is all about let's move, let's go. That spur of the moment type energy. So you may want to stop and think things out before you say, you know what, the hell with that job, middle fingers up, I'm out. I don't like it. I don't like the way they treat me. I don't like the way they talk to me, because the second house also deals with self-esteem and self-worth. I don't like how they try to belittle me. Just an example, okay? It doesn't have to be that with everybody, but just a general example of how the external factors, hence the second house, the things that happen in your external environment will have you change your perspective in the way you look at things. Maybe you've been applying for other jobs and you didn't get it, and then all of a sudden now you're able to get that job. Uranus could pop up and give you that type of surprise. Like, surprise, you got a job. Or surprise, you got a new house. So just keep that in mind. Surprises can be good or bad, but they may come, okay? So in this area of your life. So we got the E deck. So I was shuffling, and what came out was X-ray vision. So let's see what X-ray vision means for you. Let me grab the book. Number 2, X-ray vision. It says, ignore everything in your life that suggests there's a problem. It's time to look past the illusionary veil of petty struggles. As soon as you take your attention off all of that appears wrong, you will begin to notice all sorts of right signs and clues. The universe is throwing buckets of clear guidance your way. See beyond the surface and the superficial. Soak in the deeper meaning. Soak in the refreshing water of truth. So the universe wants you to look past all of the, the nonsense that's getting on your nerves, whatever's giving you a headache. It could be in reference to your job or how you make money, or, people trying to, talk to you like you don't have value, or, you're not worth, or, people trying to make you feel a certain way about yourself because they don't have the energy you have. Look past all of that is what the universe is saying to you. And the universe is throwing you some guidance. So take time out to get that guidance. So remember, the number 9 is the major arcana. The major arcana is the hermit energy, and the hermit is very intuitive. The hermit listens to the energies from himself before he listens to outside sources. So tap in, because the universe is trying to tell you something. They're trying to get you to see something that maybe you're not seeing, that will help you to make the best decision for you. So again, just some general examples of how Uranus may affect you. And again, it's in your second house, okay, which deals with the money-making potential you have, how much money you can make, self-esteem, self-worth, real estate. All right, so I'm going to wrap up the reading. So with that being said, I wish you guys the best. If you need a personal, my information is in the box below, and I'll check you out in your other readings. Later, Aries.